They had not won in forever. Moby Dick was a minnow the last time they really done well. And our athletic director understood that. And so Ron and I were kind of on the same page. Everything we've done at Wake Forest has not just been the Jim Grobe plan. Ron Wellman's been involved in it. And that's probably a little unusual to have your athletic director involved in your plan for developing the football program. But I think at Wake Forest, we had a little bit of, I don't know what you would say, a little bit of leeway. They weren't expecting an ACC championship overnight. And I think, when you're at a program that's won national titles and won ACC championships and has had a tradition of winning, I think certainly there is more pressure on you. And there's no question that one of the best things about Wake Forest is that they have basically appreciated everything we've done. They appreciated us for just being competitive. When we were going 4-7, they loved us. They love us a little more now, probably. They won an ACC championship, but you don't notice a lot of difference. People have been great to us ever since I've been at Wake Forest. They take a little more pride in it now, but Tommy's right. I would say that, and I don't know what his situation is, like I said, but at certain programs, there's an expectation that you are going to win championships, and that certainly puts more pressure.
Do you think you could be, and maybe this is a good problem to have, a victim of your own success because you keep raising the bar? You're going to keep having the Wake Forest fans where they were hoping for 5 and 6 wins a season. Now they're going to be expecting a lot more out of you.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. I'd like for our fans to have expectations. I'd like for our fans to sell our stadium out every Saturday. I'd like to get to that point. My biggest concern is not our fans. My biggest concern is our players. I hope that it's going to be interesting to see how our players handle this success. And, if we sit around and spend too much time patting ourselves on the back, we're not going to be a very good football team. So I expect the fans to be more fired up about football and have their expectations go up, but I hope at the same time our players realize that we got to a championship by hard work and not by sitting around patting ourselves on the back.
Jim, I don't know if Doug Gowdy asked this question, but is there something to the fact that there's an awful good run of West Virginia-born coaches in college football right now? We were talking with Coach Bowden about it, and obviously, Jimbo Fisher and Rick Cricket joining his staff are both West Virginia guys. Joe Lilly is a West Virginia guy, but Nick Saban, yourself, there's an awful good deal of guys from the state of West Virginia. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, maybe it's just guys that don't speak English very well. Can coach football. I never thought of the hillbilly connection. That's pretty good. I don't know.
Is there it's always been the cradle of coaches. You talked about the Miami of Ohio. I mean, certainly there's some Rust Belt kind of connection almost in West Virginia. I mean, football's important to those people, and that kind of. I mean, is there something to any of that?
I know, as a kid, that's all we did. We grew up playing football. We would go every day to a churchyard or schoolyard and run a tackle game and catch a game. There was always something football. Maybe, you just got a lot of guys that came up playing football and fell in love with it and got into coaching. I don't know. There used to be a lot of pretty good coaches.
Rodriguez, obviously, another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got smaller numbers. That's the only deal.
Sitting there, particularly between West Virginia, or between Maryland, Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio. That's part of it.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, it's just something you don't see anymore. It's really sad. I mean, very rarely drive by. If I ever drive by, I about wreck my car if I see kids out playing tackle football. You just don't see that. It used to be you couldn't ever go by a school or a churchyard, any kind of field at all. Grass, there were kids tackling each other, and you just don't see it.
Well, now they play it on video games.
Yeah, exactly. Madden and all that stuff.
Jim, I got a question. You talked about, Riley Skinner has continued, what do you expect out of him in terms of improvement areas that you...
It's really been amazing to see him change. He's kind of muscled up now. He's really working. He's one of our hardest working kids in the weight room. In the spring, you could tell he had a lot more velocity on his throws. Excuse me. He's just maturing really well right now. I think he's always been a great kid. I think that he'll just continue to get better. He's a guy that's got room to get a lot better, but he's also a kid that's motivated to get a lot better, which is kind of the key.
And also at the Orange Bowl, which I happened to be at, you got there, had him on the run, then you had the screw with other things happening. What lessons did he learn from that experience that, coming to play this season?
Well, I think more than anything else, he's been there. He's been bright lights aren't going to make him shy. He's been in some pretty tough environments and won a lot. And of course, we lost that, but we had a chance to win it. And I think that you don't have very many freshman quarterbacks that have the experiences he had. That's going to really hold him in good stead down in the future. And he hadn't changed. That's the best thing about him. The Riley Skinner right now is no different from the redshirt kid that didn't get a snap. I didn't know Riley Skinner had a vocabulary. I thought all he said was yes sir, no sir. And then, after last season, going through spring practice and winter workouts and all that kind of stuff, you just don't see one change in him as far as the arrogant hockey or there's just he's still Riley Skinner.
Hadn't gone to his head.
Yeah, no, he's still Riley Skinner.
I could dominate the conversation asking about Jacksonville kids on your team, but I'll keep it to one that hasn't played yet, but probably figures pretty prominently in your plans. I would think Hunter Haynes. How much, in the situation with Eric, and I guess the kids yesterday said they moved her and Fred over there.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at Mike. We'll give him a few days, see how he looks. He's 260 pounds and was the defensive player of the year in his conference in high school. So.
But what about Hunter? I mean, do you envision a scenario where you think that he could be your starter?
Yeah, I have no issues at all with Hunter. My issues, at linebacker, I'm just not going through a season with 3 of them. We got to find 2 deep, and right now, I don't know who's going to replace a body. It could be Majette, it could be Hunter, it could be Matt Woodley, it could be a lot of different guys, but we really feel like Hunter Haynes is going to play a ton of football and be really, really special. We just can't count on him being able to do it by himself, so that's kind of why we moved Mike. Try to make sure we come out of August with at least 6 kids that we think we can put on the field.
Last thing on him, wasn't he, wouldn't you say he's probably one of the more high-profile kids that you recruited? I mean, not recruited, but got signed. I mean, the kid was a first-team All-State kid in the state of Florida. That's usually have to be a pretty good football player to do that.
A lot of people liked him. His dad's a coach. His dad's an old player. His dad really liked the idea of him being at Wake Forest. That was a family that wanted, like Riley Skinner's family. It's a family that wanted the kid to play great football, but wanted him at a great school. We hit a home run with Hunter Haynes, and when we got him in, we were afraid he was a little bit undersized, but he's gotten bigger and stronger. He's got a great work ethic.